Yo, Tom Fiddzy here with my review of Marvel's What If episode 2. This was the T'Challa in space episode. Instead of the Ravengers picking up Peter Quill, they accidentally pick up T'Challa because the what if moment in this was that Yondu, he decided not to go himself. He hired out some other people and they picked up the wrong child. They detected the energy from the meteorite that is underneath Wakanda, and they thought, oh, well, that must be celestial energy, so they picked up the wrong person, which is a great little twist. I really like that. I like how they thought that through, how they would get T'Challa into space. I'd love to know when they went into the What If series. They probably just had a big board with like all possible ideas and just like the brainstorming of what can be. And this one, we got so many what ifs. Like, I feel like this was a much better introduction as to what the series is. I like how the Watcher was a little bit more involved in this. He kind of faded out as the story went on, but we saw him popping up. He was always like kind of there in the sky, watching. And I like that. And yeah, it wasn't just like this is T'Challa in space. You know, last time it was what if Peggy Carter was Captain America, and that was a great little story. It was a lot more grounded. You know, it was just like kind of one major switch up. But this one, it was like, what if we put T'Challa in space and everything changes? So much changes. Like, I thought we were going to get a collector episode because we saw on the posters big collector's in here, and I'm guessing he's going to be turning up other times as well. But yeah, what a big change straight from the start. We got that classic scene, that Peter Quill introduction scene with the turnaround. You got Korath. Who? I'm Star-Lord, man, come on, you know. But this time it's like, who? Oh my god, it's T'Challa, it's Star-Lord. Like, he's super fanning. I love that difference. I love how it's a completely different reaction, the reaction that Star-Lord wanted all along and he never got. But T'Challa is getting it because he's just out there and he's literally been doing good. He's been using, you know, his knowledge, his authority, the fact that he was always being trained to be a king, and he was using that out in space to do good. He wasn't just, you know, flying around being selfish, sleeping with Oscarians or whatever it was, you who've laid with it, Oscarian. You know, he hasn't just been dossing around, he's actually been going out there doing good. And it's such a big change. The only thing is that the what if moment was, yeah, Yondu sent out some lackeys to do the work, but then they brought T'Challa on. He's like, obviously this isn't the right kid, and then he's just like, well, yeah, you can stay. You know, Yondu, your history is abducting a lot of kids. And they didn't mention about Star-Lord again until the end, which we'll get to. You know, the Peter Quill, they didn't mention that. Like, did he not go back to pick him up, or was he just like, well, we got a kid, let's just go? You know, did he not want to go and look after Quill and do what he did with Quill to kind of stop Ego taking him, or did he just report back to Ego like, oh, he's dead? You know, like, it looks like we are going to get that story, the Peter Quill of that universe, told in a different thing. So hopefully we get some answers there. But it was a bit weird that Yondu never actually went back and got Peter Quill, and instead was just like, all right, Yondu. I feel like Yondu just kind of, I feel like he always just wanted a son. So they just brought a kid and he was like, yep, Yondu, you're my son now. And they got along and they were proper like father and son. And I love their dynamic. I love that wherever T'Challa goes, he just kind of makes friends, including Thanos. Thanos is in this. Well, what a great surprise. And they met obviously in space and they talked it out and they had an argument, and T'Challa somehow convinced Thanos that his genocide plan was not the right thing to do, and it becomes a bit of a joke in this. And yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. I love that reveal. But at the same time, I'm a little bit like, oh man, in Loki we got Infinity Stones as a joke. Now we're getting Thanos as a joke. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that really sat with me. It was great seeing a completely different side of Thanos. But then he just kind of felt like he was just like the big dumb brawn. You know, he wasn't like the big conquering leader, the smart guy. He was just the butt of the jokes there in the background. And I don't know, he felt weaker. It was great to see the Black Order again and seeing them actually, you know, doing some damage, and they were fighting Thanos, and they were pretty equal. I mean, Thanos was still, what you never really saw in the Avengers is just how strong the Black Order were. I mean, you saw it in hints, but they obviously got defeated twice in 2 films, and they get defeated again here as well. But so because you just see them defeated, you don't really get that sense of how actually strong they are. And then here you see them, they're going against Thanos and they're beating him for the most part, and it makes you wonder, why were they following him in the first place? And Thanos was beating the Hulk. I mean, he had some Infinity Stones at that point, but still, Thanos was on his own still a big strong guy, and here he's getting beaten down into the mud. It was a little bit strange, but I guess maybe when he gave up on the genocide plan, maybe he relaxed a little bit. T'Challa said he was farming. Maybe he just wasn't hitting the gym as much and relaxing. But so it was a bit of a strange thing. But who was hitting the gym was the Collector, and I loved that. I love Buff Collector, and I really actually, because when you see him, he's just a crazy guy who's collecting things. Magnificent, absolutely Fruit Loop. How on earth did he get with his power? And here we see that without Thanos around, without some of the other bigger powers around, that he can step up. And I love the thing where it's he's the Collector. So he's collecting all of the weapons. He's collecting all of the powers. He has probably Korg's fist. He has Hela's helmet, the Necro sword. He has Captain America's shield. That's a big question. How did he get that? Why is T'Challa leaving Earth affecting Thor? Because Thor's hammer's there, and Hela, and how on earth did that all fall into place? Where is it just because the Collector's rose now to power? He's filled a vacuum. Was he because he came across maybe as a little bit cowardly. I'm guessing without Thanos there, without the Mad Titan, with the Black Order kind of on his side, he could actually be there's no one now to stop me. I can actually stop hiding under the table, stop being the little weasel guy, and actually pull my weight a little bit. And he worked out, and he did what he did, and he got all these weapons, and he just amassed power. And I think it's really cool, and I'd love to see more of that, because it's kind of like Taskmaster. Taskmaster knows how to use other people's fighting styles and stuff, but here you got the Collector who's collecting everybody else's weapons and stuff, and he can literally use anything. He's using the Necro swords. He can then hit you with a Korg fist and stuff, and who knows what else. He can throw the Captain America shield. Can he pick up Thor's hammer? I doubt it. I doubt he's worthy. Although, how did he get in that display case? If he did he get Thor to put the hammer in the display case before he killed Thor? I'm assuming, or something. How do you move the hammer into a display case? Because you have to be worthy, right? Did he find someone worthy? Was Howard the Duck worthy? That was great as well, Howard the Duck. I really enjoyed seeing him. I've always wanted to see more of him in the MCU. Hope he pops up in the next Guardians of the Galaxy. Hope he keeps popping up in this. I'd love a what if where it's all about Howard the Duck as a main hero or something. But I really like that Collector. I really enjoyed that twist where he's just a guy who has basically near infinite things that he can use, and knowledge, and because he would know everything about all the different species, how to attack, all crazy weapons that he has in his vault, and I'd really like to see more of that. I think that was generally quite interesting. Wish the fight could have been a little bit more extended. Hopefully maybe we'll get that. Like I say, we saw the Collector on the poster, so maybe we'll get some more of that. I thought overall T'Challa style was great. It was awesome hearing Chadwick again. Really liked the fact that you had that at the end, that nice little memorial. I thought he was really good, kind of really stuck to his character. Obviously the story isn't done because we've got he's gone back to Earth, and we've got the actual Peter Quill stuff coming, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Again, it was great hearing a lot of their voices. Nebula was also really cool. Fun Drax cameo as well. That did feel a little bit forced, but it was really funny. It was okay, so he afterwards he settled in a bar, and is that Drax's dream job, settling in a bar when he's not angry and raging? Fine, okay, I'll take it because it was a fun little cameo. But this was a much better What If episode. Even though I enjoyed the first one, even though it was great seeing Captain Carter, this one was just crazy. and shows the potential of this series as to where it can go. I do feel like, even though it was the change was Yondu hired some lackeys, I feel like maybe too much in the universe changed, especially with the fact that the Collector was therefore able to get Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield and stuff. You know, T'Challa didn't start interacting with all of these Avengers and stuff until much later. So, and Wakanda was very still closed off at that point. So why would something happening in Wakanda affect all of the rest? It's a little bit crazy in that regard. I guess it was just the fact that the Collector was like, I'm going to go out and collect like crazy without anyone to stop me. That's the only thing that's kind of really bugging me. And the fact that Yondu never went back to see Peter Quill. But I'm guessing we will get that story. I really enjoyed it. So I'm now much more hyped for the rest of the What's If series, especially if we go back to this particular universe. And yeah, there's still a lot of episodes to go. So we're already getting a lot of the stuff from the poster, like, out of the way. So who knows what is left. This series potential has really, really skyrocketed. All right, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. How did Thor's hammer get in that display case? What did you think of Space T'Challa? And what else are you excited to see? All right, bye.